The Galactic Union's council chamber buzzed with speculation as the Volcari delegate slammed a clawed fist onto the table. "We demand access to Earth's apex predator," he growled. "For study, nothing more. Every death world has one, a peak organism. Tooth, Fawn Claw. Earth must have one too." The request wasn't new. The galaxy had long struggled to categorize Earth's ecosystem. Files describe a chaos of competing species: tigers, sharks, viruses, Orcs, but no consistent apex. Nothing definitive. Too many variables. Too much adaptability. Crocodiles outlived the dinosaurs. A thin diplomat from the Allery chimed in, "But humans rule the world. They're tool users, not predators." Another scoffed. "They dominate by intelligence, not biology." All heads turned to the only human in the chamber, Commander Isla Moreau. She was leaning back, silent, unfazed by the volley of theories. Most thought she was decorative, a diplomatic token, not a strategist. The Volcari delegate pointed. "We request to meet your world's apex predator. We have a right to evaluate if it qualifies for the Hunter-class prototype." Isla gave a small smile. "Granted." The laughter that followed was thick with mockery. No one expected anything dangerous. Earth was still considered a curiosity, a violent backwater in an ancient galaxy. The request was a novelty, a thrill for the brave. 2 cycles later, they arrived. A small delegation of apex species envoys landed on Earth's neutral zone base. General Warkle of the Predator race Hellrocks led the team, flanked by Tnai, a telepath from the deep ocean race Cerni, and 4 xenobiologists. They expected cages, weapons, at least a handler. Isla was there waiting, alone, no containment fields, no armed escort, just her and a datapad. "You're here to meet Earth's apex predator?" she asked, voice calm. Warkle nodded, scanning the barren chamber. "Yes. Where is it?" She tapped her chest once. "You're looking at her." Silence. Then Warkle burst into grating laughter. "You're joking." "I don't joke about this." Tnai stepped forward. I sensed no threat in her biology. No heightened adrenal glands. No natural weapons. No venom. Nothing. "You weren't invited to measure glands," Isla said. "You were invited to understand." The telepath narrowed her gaze and reached out with her mind, brushing against Isla's thoughts. Instantly, she staggered back. Her breath caught. Her eyes fluttered. Blood vessels in her face darkened with strain. Visions assaulted her. Fire raining from the sky. A battlefield soaked in ash. A soldier dragging 3 wounded comrades through gunfire. A mother shielding her child during a riot. Screaming as debris fell around them. Eyes. Isla's. Watching it all. Feeling it all. Enduring it all. Tnai collapsed, trembling. Warkle caught her mid-fall. "She's lying," he hissed. "This is performance." "She's not," Tnai whispered, shivering. "She is pain and survival. All of it wrapped in will." Isla didn't blink. "You asked to meet what dominates Earth. It isn't the strongest. It isn't the fastest. It's the one who adapts, who suffers, who calculates, who wins." Warkle stared at her, jaw tight. "Still want a demonstration?" Isla asked, voice razor flat. He didn't answer, but the doubt was already there. Warkle clenched his fists, unwilling to back down. "If you're truly what you claim, then prove it. We have simulations. Chambers that mimic lethal biomes from across the galaxy. No weapons. No tools. Just your instincts. You survive, we acknowledge your title." Isla nodded once. "Fine." The chamber was configured to a setting called Delta Red, a gravity-warped jungle designed to crush bones, slice flesh, and stalk the participant with synthetic predators that hunted in coordinated packs. No species had completed it without assistance. Most hadn't lasted longer than 20 minutes. She entered alone. Inside, the pressure shifted instantly, double Earth's gravity. Rain began to fall, thick with acidic vapor. Mechanical predators, modeled after the most efficient hunters in the galaxy, slithered and skittered through the underbrush. The chamber scanners locked onto Isla's body, cataloging vitals, stress levels, and oxygen consumption. She didn't panic. She moved low, conserving motion, mapped the terrain. watch for repetition, in predator movement. Within minutes, she was baiting one into another's path, letting them collide. She used broken foliage to block sensors, smeared blood across herself to mask heat signatures. She never ran. She maneuvered, used timing, broke line of sight. Observers from the Galactic Council watched in silence. Some leaned forward, others whispered. Warkle remained rigid, eyes unblinking. Her muscles aren't superior, a biologist noted. She's compensating mentally. She isn't fighting them, another said. She's outthinking them. As the chamber intensified, temperatures spiked, terrain shifted, predators evolved tactics. Isla kept moving. She lured one near a cliff ledge, kicked out its stabilizers, and sent it crashing down. Another she trapped between two reflective walls, confusing its sensors until it shut down in a loop. 30 minutes, then 40. No being had lasted this long. Inside, her breath came harder. Her arms shook. Acid had burned through one sleeve. A synthetic claw had grazed her shoulder. Blood oozed, but she kept her footing. Eyes sharp, mouth tight. 50 minutes. The system finally stopped. The door hissed open. Isla emerged, drenched in sweat and blood, but upright. No cheering, no applause. Just a stunned silence of those who'd witnessed something their culture didn't have words for. "You built that to kill things," she said, voice steady. "I survived it with nothing but thought, grit, and pain." Warkle's jaw twitched. "That proves nothing." "It proves everything," she replied. "I'm not a predator because I enjoy killing. I'm the apex because I never stopped calculating, because I was born fragile and made the world adapt to me." Tnai, still pale, whispered, "She doesn't kill like we do. She kills with purpose." "No," Isla corrected. "I kill only when I must. That's what makes me dangerous." A moment passed, then another. Warkle looked away first. They reconvened in the central chamber, but the mood had shifted. The smugness was gone. What remained was calculation and something older, caution, even fear. "You said Earth's apex predator is not the strongest, nor the fastest," one delegate muttered. "Then what are you?" Isla didn't pace. She stood still, hands folded behind her back, voice low and even. "We are the anomaly. You think apex means dominance by force. On Earth, dominance came from enduring, adapting, waiting, learning, and remembering." The council room dimmed as Isla activated a series of projections. Not weapons, not beasts, images. A woman crawling through rubble with a broken leg, clutching a child. A surgeon performing a procedure while bombs fell outside. A soldier holding the hand of a dying enemy. A scientist crying tears of joy as a vaccine worked. This is what you don't understand. Our greatest weapon is not fang or claw. It's choice. We choose to fight. We choose to rebuild. We choose to suffer through pain and stand back up. Tnai spoke softly. "But your records are filled with destruction, wars, genocides." "Yes," Isla said without flinching, "because we also choose hate. Because we are capable of both. That's what makes us dangerous. That's what makes us apex." A new image appeared. A protester facing down a tank. A child offering bread to a stranger. A couple building a shelter from salvage debris. No other species weaponized imagination, or turned empathy into law, or taught its young to sing lullabies while the world burned outside. One of the Hellrock scientists muttered, "Then why hide it? Why not tell us you were your planet's apex predator?" "Because we're terrified of ourselves," Isla said. "We invented gods not because we needed something to worship, but because we needed something to blame." The room fell still. "You wanted the top predator?" Isla continued. "She writes poetry. She teaches her enemies how to read. She mourns after she wins. And she knows exactly what she's capable of, which is why she builds walls inside herself." Warkle's voice came, low and grudging. "You're evolve in ways we did not expect." "No," Isla replied. "We're still fighting the same darkness inside us, but we've given it rules. Language, a mirror, and once in a while we break it And we remember what we truly are. Tanaya's eyes locked on hers. So your restraint is the only thing holding it back? Isla nodded. The only thing between civilization and extinction has always been a fragile mind trying not to give in. No one laughed this time. No one scoffed. The data pads went quiet. The recordings ran uninterrupted. They had come expecting a beast. They found something worse. Something that knew it was a beast and had learned to smile. The Volcari delegation quietly withdrew their proposal. No announcement, no explanation, just silent, immediate retreat. What had begun as a simple request for study now carried the weight of a warning unspoken. The rest of the council watched them go, unease lingering like smoke in the air. Tanai remained, thoughtful. Her people were no strangers to depth, but even she admitted this was something else entirely. You are not what we assumed, she said to Isla. We never are, Isla answered. You look for teeth and forget the mind behind them. You wanted monsters. Instead, you met a species that dreams while bleeding. A council member raised a trembling voice. If your species is as dangerous, why come to the council at all? To avoid proving it, Isla said simply. General Warkle, still wounded in pride, barked, if humans are this capable, why act so meek? Why the diplomacy? The treaties? Why pretend to be just another minor race? Her eyes didn't waver, because the moment we stop pretending, this galaxy burns. It wasn't arrogance. It was fact, cold, level, earned through thousands of years clawing upward through chaos and catastrophe. You think our restraint is weakness, she continued, but it's the highest form of strength we know. We built civilizations not on dominance, but on knowing we could dominate and choosing not to. The silence that followed was heavy, not with disbelief, but understanding. Then came the internal memo. No headlines, just a red-marked alert passed through galactic networks. Read only by the highest command in each species. Do not antagonize Earth. Avoid military posturing. Avoid psychological warfare. Do not provoke. Their apex walks among them, masked in mercy. On some worlds, military stood down. On others, trade agreements with Earth were fast-tracked. Across the stars, a quiet ripple of respect and fear spread like frost. Back on the neutral base, Tanai approached Isla one final time. What will you do now that they know? Isla smiled faintly. What we always do. Watch. Learn. Grow. Tanai hesitated. And if someone pushes too far? The smile vanished. Then we remind them why no predator hunts humanity for long. She walked away, steps light, posture relaxed. Not threatening, just human. Somewhere far above, a young diplomat who'd watched the footage whispered to himself, she wasn't the scariest thing I've seen, but she's the only one who understood how to end everything, and still chose not to. Back on Earth, the news didn't make headlines. The public didn't know. But in the shadows of strategy rooms, in hushed exchanges between species, one truth settled like gravity itself. Humanity was the apex predator, not because it had to be, but because it chose when to be.